Now we're diving into the fascinating world of one of the most common, yet historic coins out there, the 1974 D Lincoln Memorial Cent. There's so much more to this little coin than meets the eye, so stick around as we explore its history, design, value, and rarity. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about that old penny you found in your pocket, this video is for you. Let's start with the basics. What makes the 1974 D penny so interesting at first glance? It's just another 1-cent coin, but like every coin, it has a story. The D mint mark indicates that this penny was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the 4 U.S. mint facilities responsible for producing coins. In 1974, the Denver Mint produced an astonishing 4.2 billion pennies. That's right, billions. So, with such a high mintage, does that make this coin valuable? We'll get to that, but first, let's break down the design. The 1974 D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which was produced from 1959 to 2008. On the obverse side, you'll see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This iconic image has graced the penny for over a century and remains one of the most recognized designs in American coinage. Above Lincoln's head, we have the word Liberty, and to the right, you'll see the motto "In God We Trust." Below Lincoln, the year 1974 is clearly visible, and right beneath that, you'll notice the D mint mark, signifying that this coin was minted in Denver. Flipping the coin over to the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design was introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the wheat ears design that had been in use since 1909. And here's a fun detail that many people don't notice: if you look closely at the Lincoln Memorial on the penny, you can actually see a tiny engraving of Lincoln sitting in his memorial, just like the full-sized statue in Washington, D.C. The design of the Lincoln Memorial Cent stayed largely the same until 2008, when the U.S. Mint replaced it with a new reverse design in 2009 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This means that the 1974 D penny is part of a long and storied series of coins that hold a special place in American history. Now, let's take a look at the historical context of 1974. This was a time of significant change and challenge in the United States. Richard Nixon had just resigned as president following the Watergate scandal, and the country was dealing with high inflation and an energy crisis. The 1970s were also marked by significant economic and social changes, which affected everything including coin production. Despite these challenges, the U.S. Mint continued to churn out billions of coins to keep up with the demand for small change. The Denver Mint played a key role in this, producing over 4 billion pennies in 1974 alone. These pennies, like the 1974 D, were made primarily from copper and zinc. In fact, pennies from 1962 to 1982 were composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Speaking of copper, it's worth noting that the value of the copper in a 1974 D penny is actually higher than the face value of the coin itself. With today's copper prices, the melt value of the coin's copper content is around 2 to 3 cents. But don't get too excited just yet. Melting down pennies for their metal content is illegal in the US, so while the metal might be worth more, it's not something you can cash in on. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1974 D penny. If you find one in circulated condition, meaning it's been used in everyday transactions, across a 1974 D penny in uncirculated condition, or even a mint state condition, its value can increase slightly. For example, A 1974 penny graded MS65 or higher could be worth between 10 cents and 1. Not a fortune, but still a nice premium over face value. When it comes to determining a coin's value, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better condition. A coin graded MS65 is in near perfect condition with only minor imperfections, while a coin graded MS70 is considered flawless. If you have a 1974 penny in high grade, it might be worth sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to have it certified and encapsulated in a protective slab. But here's where things get really exciting: error coins. While most 1974 pennies are common, there are some rare varieties due to minting errors. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors and can be worth much more than regular pennies. Some errors to look out for include off-center strikes, die cracks, and double dies. These errors occur during the minting process and can make the coin unique. One of the most famous errors to look for in pennies is the double die variety, where the design elements are struck twice, creating a slightly doubled appearance. While no major double die errors are known for the 1974 penny, you never know what you might find. Minor errors, like die cracks or off-center strikes, can still increase the value of the coin, with some error coins fetching anywhere from a few dollars to 50 or more, depending on the type of error and the coin's condition. So, what's the rarity factor of the 1974 penny? With over 4 billion pennies minted, this coin is far from rare in general circulation. However, finding a 1974 penny in mint state condition or with a unique error can be more challenging. Coins that have been well preserved over the years, especially those that have been graded by a professional service, are much harder to find and can be more valuable. If you're a collector, it's always worth checking your pocket change and coin rolls for uncirculated pennies or error coins. You never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. So, what's the bottom line for the 1974 penny? While most of these pennies are worth just their face value, coins in high-grade condition or with rare errors can be worth significantly more. It's always exciting to hunt for those hidden gems in your coin collection, and even a common penny like the 1974 can hold a fascinating piece of history. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the 1974 Lincoln Memorial Cent. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin has a lot to offer. Today, we're diving into the story behind the 1974 UK 1 penny coin. While it may seem like just another penny, this little coin carries with it a fascinating history of British coinage, and for collectors, it might be worth more than you think. So, let's explore the design, historical context, and whether it could hold more than just a penny's worth. Many people overlook the humble penny, but collectors know that coins from the 1970s can sometimes have hidden value, depending on their condition, rarity, or any minting errors. So, stay tuned as we take a closer look at the 1974 UK penny and see if it could be a gem in your collection. Let's start with the design of the 1974 UK 1 penny. On the obverse side, we have a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, who reigned for over 70 years, making her one of the longest reigning monarchs in British history. This specific portrait of the Queen, designed by Arnold Machin, was introduced in 1968 and remained on coins until 1984. Above the portrait, you'll find the inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This is a traditional inscription found on British coinage, emphasizing the Queen's role as both a monarch and the head of the Church of England. On the reverse side, we have the iconic image of the seated figure of Britannia, holding a trident in one hand and a shield in the other. This design was used on British pennies for over 100 years, symbolizing Britain's naval power and strength. Surrounding Britannia is the denomination 1 penny at the top, with the date 1974 at the bottom. This classic design is instantly recognizable to coin collectors and historians alike and is a key symbol of British coinage. To better understand the significance of the 1974 UK penny, let us take a quick look at the historical context. The 1970s were a challenging time for the United Kingdom. The country was dealing with high inflation, economic downturns, and political unrest. In 1974, the UK had not one but two general elections, both of which resulted in a minority government led by Harold Wilson. Amid this backdrop of economic challenges, British coins like the 1974 penny were an everyday part of life, even as inflation eroded the value of the penny over time. The decimalisation of British currency had occurred only a few years earlier, in 1971, making this penny part of the new pence system that replaced the old shillings and pence. The 1974 penny was minted in large quantities, with hundreds of millions being produced, which makes it a relatively common coin today. However, there are still some factors that could make a 1974 penny more valuable to collectors. One interesting aspect of the 1974 penny is its material composition. Like other UK pennies minted between 1971 and 1992, the 1974 penny is made of bronze, which is an alloy of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. This bronze composition was standard for British pennies up until 1992 when the composition switched to copper-plated steel due to rising copper prices. Because of its bronze content, the 1974 penny has a distinct reddish-brown color when new, but over time, these pennies often develop a darker patina due to oxidation. While this doesn't necessarily add value, a well-preserved 1974 penny with a bright original color can be more appealing to collectors. Now, let us talk about value. While the 1974 UK penny is relatively common, certain factors can increase its value, especially if you're a collector. First, as with most coins, the condition of the penny plays a huge role in determining its worth. Coins that have been well preserved and show little to no signs of wear are often classified as uncirculated, and these coins can fetch a higher price than those that have been in circulation. For example, a circulated 1974 penny is usually worth only its face value or slightly more, typically 20 pence to £1 depending on the condition. However, an uncirculated penny can be worth £2 to £5, and in some cases, even higher. Another aspect to consider is minting errors. While minting errors are rare, they do exist, and they can significantly increase the value of a penny. Some examples of minting errors include misstrikes, off-center strikes, or coins with doubling on the lettering or design. If you happen to come across a 1974 penny with a noticeable minting error, it could be worth significantly more, with some error coins fetching upwards of £10 to £20 or more, depending on the rarity of the error. As with all collectible coins, professional grading can make a big difference in the value of your 1974 penny. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, uncirculated coin with no imperfections. If you have a 1974 penny graded MS65 or higher, it could be worth significantly more than a circulated penny. In recent auctions, high-grade 1974 pennies have sold for between £10 to £30, especially those in mint state 65 or higher. While this might not seem like a fortune, it's a significant increase over the coin's face value. So, could a 1974 penny be worth millions in most cases? The answer is no. While certain rare coins can fetch extraordinary prices, the 1974 UK penny is not known to be among them. Most 1974 pennies in circulation today are worth their face value, and even those in excellent condition are typically valued at just a few pounds. However, as with all coins, it's always possible that a particularly rare minting error or a unique version could surface and command a higher price. But for now, the 1974 penny remains a relatively common, though historically interesting, piece of British currency. In conclusion, the 1974 UK 1 penny is an iconic piece of British coinage, carrying with it the history and tradition of British pennies. While it may not make you a millionaire, it's still a fascinating coin for collectors and a valuable reminder of Britain's rich numismatic history. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all things coin collecting. You never know what treasures you might find in your own collection. Until next time, happy collecting.